Alrighty. Gotta get over here. Alrighty. Green on. Hello everybody, it's me. I'm back again today with another Pottery Demo video. Today, I got to throw, today I had the coolest day. So I had my job today. There was an opening for a new gallery thing, right? And so they asked me if I could do some demonstrations, some throwing demonstrations. So I already finished 2 of the 3 for today, and so I think usually I would make more, but I think these ones turned out like so good. I really want to put them in the video. So you guys are gonna see that at the kind of at the end there, So I'll show you guys soon enough. But in the meantime, I'm gonna finish the last one for today, and so today's gonna be kind of a short stream. But anyway, green off. Green off. There we go. Also, when I was doing reclaim today, I was digging through the reclaim clay, and I found a sponge. And so I was told that whatever I find in the reclaim, I can keep. So I got a new sponge, which is kind of nice because you'll see in a second, my old sponge here is kind of all ratty and kind of disgusting, where this new sponge I found in the reclaim, it's kicking. Hey, what the heck just happened? Why is there no audio all of a sudden? Okay. I don't know what happened there, but that was nerve-wracking. Okay, I'm gonna water right on this top surface here. I'm gonna grab my little my knife tool, spin that wheel, get that water right off that edge. We already got this one cruising, so wedging table. There we go. I think the audio might be a little bit too loud. It might get double feedback. But here's the one I wedged. When I wedge, I think these are right at the limit where I would start spiral wedging. This is about maybe like 4 pounds of clay, right? But that's kind of how I do the wedging. Then I'll go over to wheel. I can hear, but your voice is changing pitch. Yeah, I think it keeps trying to track the audio differently than the audio that's playing in the background. So here, maybe it should be a little bit better right now. But I hope you're doing well, Mark. And then, what's the best thing you found in reclaim? An old bandage that somebody, like an old used bandage. Which, it sounds really gross, and it is gross. But let me tell you, there's nothing that's worse than finding that gross stuff, But here we go. Get that all nice and centered there. Is the audio okay now, by the way? But I think I found maybe like some rubber ribs and stuff that were pretty interesting, but I don't think there's anything as interesting as finding that Band-Aid. Like when I picked it out of the clay, there was a sense of like my body was like shaking because I was so grossed out, and then I just realized it's whatever, who cares. So, but that I will always remember. It's probably my favorite thing. Audio is better, sweet. Yeah, I think what the problem was is that the audio was I was getting some feedback from me playing it, so hopefully you guys can hear the audio, but you were hearing it through me playing it directly from YouTube, and then hearing it from me, my microphone, my talking microphone. But oh no, it ripped off. Chill. The reclaim's really short, so it was ripping right there. But that's okay because the clay is a little bit harder too. And so all that will mean for us is that we have the opportunity to throw this a little bit taller, right? I'm gonna go back underneath one more time and cone this up to see if I can get some of those air bubbles that I introduced out. So I got that up, and then we're gonna go back down. Sweet. Fist right on the top edge. Push that down. Here we are, a little bit more water. Right again, right on that top. Okay, you can see on the right above me right here, I'm gonna push my fingers right down. And a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll set both their fingers right in the middle. You wanna have one finger off to the side, right? Because what ends up happening if you go two in the middle, you're eventually gonna push one of your fingers off of center and it's gonna catch the clay, right? And if you're not cutting through and you're not have enough force being applied, it's not gonna be a fully centered hole that you're driving through. So I always have one finger off to the side and then one finger in the middle. And that usually helps me keep that pretty much on center. And again, when I'm at the bottom here, I'm not doing anything too crazy. All I'm doing is that I'm gonna be taking my finger, my hook right here, right? And I'm cutting across that bottom clay. It shouldn't feel like you have to push really hard, right? Especially when you feel like you're cutting through the clay. Like it feels like I'm putting no force right here, and then all of a sudden the clay just opens up, right? And so in a second I'll swap over to camera B. So again, pushing this off to the side here. Okay. Remember, I'm not trimming these, so I'm keeping that bottom thin enough that, and I don't even wire them off. I allow them to fully dry so I can get them as thin as possible on the bottom so then they're not getting too heavy because I'm not trimming these things. Rounding, right now all I'm doing is rounding off this edge. I want it to be one homogeneous thing so when I go for the pole, I don't have anything too crazy happening, right? Like I don't have a spot where it's too thin and my fingers, I have to change my tension. I can just keep a constant tension all the way up. All right, camera B. All right, so here we are, right up underneath. Finger, I'm pulling this up ever so slightly. And there you go. So you can see how I do that, right? Just a nice little volcano. And why would we want the volcano, right? So what is one problem that, I'm sure every potter has ran into at least once is that your rim was too thick and you went too thin right below that rim. And so when you got to that rim where you had to push a little bit more, that bottom didn't have enough thickness, right, to be able to manage that. So right now, the clay wall is pretty much even all the way through this edge here. It's just now when I bring this out, it's gonna slightly taper a little bit thinner on the top, so I don't have to worry about me ripping off the tops, right? There's also another added layer of potential that when I do that top rim, that I could throw something almost like throwing off the hump, right? If I so chose. I've done that a little bit, but I haven't done that in one of the videos yet. Again, rounding off that top, going right back down to the bottom edge. Here we are, right down to the bottom edge. Maybe we can actually, no, we're gonna push this clay down, right? And we don't want my finger on the inside's right in that bottom edge, that corner right in here, right? And my finger, it's not being bumped around, it's just resting there, right? If your finger is being bumped around, don't even start the pole, right? You wanna make sure that your hands aren't getting all like pushed around when you're doing a pole, right? It should feel like both things are totally still, right? And then all of a sudden, all I'm doing, I'm slowly pushing in with my exterior finger, slowly drifting my interior finger up. And I'm just lifting that clay right up, right? So you can see that little bump, right? So all I'm doing is I'm just taking this bump right up the side of the pot. And look at that. One done, right? Okay. Next, a little bit more water. Collar this in ever so slightly. And if I'm feeling the clay, I feel like this is reclaim right now. So if I feel like there's a little piece of stone right here. Maybe it's a fired chunk of clay that got lodged in there. So I'm trying to dig that out, and then I'll round this right off. Pull this up just a tad, and then we're good. We're cruising. All right, back again, right to the bottom, right? I'm going to make sure it's all hydrated right to that bottom edge. Okay, great. I'm feeling a slight bubble, air bubble somewhere, and so I want to make sure that I don't freak out when I find that air bubble. You want to go right past that air bubble, and again, find this little bump. Just take that all the way up the side of the pot, right? Like a slug, right? Really trying to focus not to put too much tension on this top because I don't want to get the bottom, right, too thin where if I start torquing this top one side or the other, I'm going to get some more undulations on this bottom. I don't want that, right? And again, like I'm not trimming these, so you'll see people do like moon jars, right? They keep that bottom thin so it can hold and deal with that tension of bellying out, right? I'm trying not to have that, right? Because I don't want to trim. Okay, so here we go, right to the bottom edge. Do I have any water I gotta get out of there? And this sponge, looks like this sponge is gonna be really nice and absorbent, right? My other sponge was definitely not as absorbent as this. I already have all the water out, that's awesome. Okay, so here we go, right to the bottom edge, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and just keeping my eye on where I want to place the spiral, right? Having two hands right on the inside right here. And I'm just trying to find this little edge. And I'm just taking this out very slowly. There's a little top rim right there. Kind of has this nice blossom shape to it. Not doing too much, right? Keeping my eye on it because there's one part where the twist hasn't fully settled, right? I feel like it's almost like it's like halfway twisting right now. It's not full twisting, which is totally okay. Sometimes you need to have that twist have a little bit of some breathing room. But I have my finger pushing down very slowly. And I'm bringing this edge right out. Right at that edge. There we go. Sweet. Okay, now I'm taking my little knife tool here. Going right up underneath this edge. Great. Okay. I got that out now. So now I gotta pull that little bottom edge just a little bit, right? So right at the bottom, get a little bit of water. Have my pinky right underneath. And slowly bring that up. You know what? You have some tendrils. I feel like I need to do a double tendril today. I did a double tendril earlier, and I looked over and it totally fell. So I just got to do another double tendril in honor of the one that fell, right? So there's one. Be right out here. Okay. So we're going to take this first tendril, I'm going to wrap this right up, okay? And so the key for this is that we don't want to force that tendril, right? We really want to find out where it's guiding us as we twist it up, right? Right to this edge, twist that. Great. I think this top, we got to do something a little bit more here. I think that looks pretty nice. Take the second one. Again, so I'm twisting this up the side of this, right? And why am I whispering? We don't want to scare the pot. Right now it's a little bit, what's it, flighty, right? It's okay, little pot. edge. I'm gonna have this hanging out right on this rim. Something to disturb that rim, but not add anything too crazy, right? Look at that. Okay, bring these two in. Where's that sponge at? There it is. Okay. Taking this bottom edge right down to the side. Get that out of there. There we go. Just loving how the double tendril looks. Really feeling like it feels like arms to me, you know? I think there's something about this angle here that I just really fascinated by. So hold it right out here. I'll go grab the other two. Right? And my wheel's getting a little bit too full, so tomorrow I gotta clean out my splash pan. Favorite streamer, some serious artwork. Thank you, Benjamin Crane. Crane. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a good one. Thank you. Wait until I show you these other ones. Okay. Camera A. Sweet. Okay, look at this one. I really am vibing with this one. So I think this one looks pretty great. All right, so I have this one right here. Right? I think that one just has like this. They're very different, right? Actually, I want to tilt this one over just a tad. I want you to see more of that interior space. Also, I feel like this one's going to collapse. So I'm just keeping an eye on it. I can see a lot of water fissures happening. I may have used a little bit too much water. So you'll probably even see it tilting over to one side. But dang, look at that image right now. So now we got to add the last one. Right? Here we go. Right here in the middle. And I think that this one might be, I did like 3 petals on this one right here. So you can kind of see, maybe I have to go right here. Right here. So you can see how I have the 3 petals. 1, 2, and then 3. I think this one turned out really beautiful. So I want to keep that one kind of right here in the middle so we can talk about it. Awesome. All right, I think we're all set. We're gonna go over and do our little pottery review here, and that'll be it for today. Really liking the ones from today, to be honest. Okay. Green on. Hello, everybody. It's me. I gotta actually switch the angle. Should I keep this angle? Let's see. Do you guys like seeing the inside of it? I feel like there's something to be said about that image too, but here we go. Pottery shelf. All right. So, anyway, hello everybody, it's me. I'm back again with another pottery review. We got these 3 for you today. I'm gonna start off with this one. I think this is one of the ones where I've added this little buffer. I think sometimes, depending on the tree that you're looking at, the way that if they collapse too low, sometimes they look a little bit unintentional. So sometimes I think it's good to mix in these pots or these trees that have a little bit of a buffer right here in this area. And I think that those look pretty nice, and allowing enough space for those tendrils to almost meet where those twists starts, and then just twisting out that top. I think those always look really pretty. We got the one I just threw. I think there's something cool about this tendril going all the way up and just one disturbing that rim right on the other side over there, right? I think that looks pretty nice, right? I think the twist is okay on this one. There's not much of a tree. It's more of like an orb here. And then we got the one right above me. You can't really tell, but it has a triple flower bottom there, the petals. And I think that the twist here and the contrast between the twist, the petals, and then again that treetop, I think that's that seductive sort of silhouette of the pot that leads me over to it, right? Where I think that maybe this one was a little bit too, it has a very cylindrical look to it. That one on the top has a really nice contrast of form. But thank you so much for watching. All the best and strong mentality.